East Africa is just full of incredible things. Today, we will visit a home to groups of people who live with ferocious, venomous, and dangerous animals.
Hapa ni snake, hapa ni crocodile.
These people are so familiar with these animals that they don't mind. Looking at how they play with them, there are rumors that they use other dark powers or magic. On the contrary, these people say that they live with them in the way of finding life, as well as in the form of enjoying and preserving them. Not everyone can do it because this is like magic.
It's a heritage town.
Hello everyone, we are heading to Mombasa Ferry. We are now going to cross, we are going to a place called Ukunda. We are going to meet a guy called Arafat. He's known as Arafat Wamanyoka, the guy with big snakes, and I believe you are going to enjoy the show.
I am going to travel 517 kilometers from Nairobi to Ukunda, a coastal town in the southern part of Mombasa. It is a 10-hour journey by car. We crossed Likoni Ferry and went to Ukunda town in Kwale County to Arafat Mayonaka's home, who lives with snakes. He showed us how strange and scary he lived and plays with these animals.
Pamoja na crocodiles katika boma.
I live with snakes and crocodiles in my house. We will talk face to face with Arafat, his wife, and his neighbors. They will explain how they care for and live with poisonous snakes, crocodiles, and many other animals which are known for their cruelty and deadly venom.
Forest cobra, Egyptian cobra.
Who are these people? How closely do they approach and interact with these animals of prey that others fear? Why did Arafat accept to live with these animals? What does it generally teach us about human and animal life? Welcome to the world of people who live with wild and venomous animals. His name is Hamis Mweni Sibaga, a name that has been forgotten because of his profession, and now he is called Manioka. This man does impressive things. He has a home that can be called a park, among others, where he shelters poisonous snakes, crocodiles, owls, and other countless animals. You may wonder where this man gets all his power.
Kwa majina naitwa Hamisi Mwenye Chiboga.
My name is Hamis Mweni Sibaga, but now that name has been forgotten. I am known as Arafati Manioka because I live with animals and crocodiles in my house. Arafat, who has become close friends with snakes and other animals that are not likely familiar with humans, says that he started hunting snakes a long time ago. But the time came when his conscience talked to him, and he started to think of something else to do that does not involve killing them, because he realized that he was abusing them. So he decided to learn about them and how to live with them peacefully without harming them.
Sijakuwa mgeni sana katika hii kazi ama katika hii.
I am not new to living with animals and getting along with them because I started it in 2000. Before that, I used to hunt with dogs. I was also a fisherman who swam hard to catch fish. In that life, if I met a snake, I would kill it. In 2000, I was sitting wondering how many snakes I had killed. I realized there were too many. After that, I wondered if, apart from committing the crime of killing snakes, according to my beliefs, I could have benefited or even traded them if I caught all these snakes and found a way to live with them and relax. There were many more other functions that could have helped me, so that's where my heart turned. Instead of killing snakes of that number, I thought I would rather have researched and gotten to know them in depth. So in 2000, I started a 2-year journey of learning about them until 2002. Since then, I have become a friend of snakes. It was in 2006 when I started my snake breeding that you can see here called Jungle Snake Park, because I had noticed that many snakes were being killed for nothing and felt that I also wanted others to know about it, to prevent more snakes from being killed in vain. Arafat has already turned these animals into his best friends. And as he says, apart from looking after them, these animals are now his family's only way of life.
Kwa majina naitwa Aziza Arafat. Mimi ni mke wa Arafat. Arafat is wife.
My name is Aziza Arafat. I am Arafat's wife, and I married him well aware that he raises snakes. At first, when we just started living together, I was scared. But as time passed, I got used to them and my fears went away. It's hard to imagine how this woman dared to live with this man whom people were scared of and are still afraid of because of the animals that live with him at home. We asked her how she agreed to live with him, and she told us their story from the beginning.
Ujasiri ama uzoefu.
Agreeing to live with him and the snakes was because of love. You all know that love can use a person in every way. So as soon as I fell in love with Arafati, I decided to love him with everything he was, especially since snake breeding is one of our ways to make a living. They pay our children's school fees, feed us, and everything else. Relatives, friends, neighbors, and family were afraid, but based on the love that I had for my husband, they wouldn't do anything else, so they chose to relax. Children also get used to them because when a newborn baby grows up seeing a snake, they get used to it.
Kwa hivyo nimeumwa zaidi ya mara mbili. Nimeumwa na black mamba.
No one can achieve what they want without sweating. These animals have also bitten me several times. So it takes much sweat to achieve your goals. Eventually, I was bitten by 2 snakes. One I would say is the most poisonous snake here in all of Africa, called the black mamba, and another called green mamba, which may be the second most dangerous snake in Africa. When they bit me, in 15 minutes, I was paralyzed and wasn't feeling any part of my body. But they took me to the hospital for treatment, even though it was very expensive.
Hapa ni snake, hapa ni crocodile or if. Tofada, green mamba, crocodile.
This man is very much used to them, even though his neighbors and visitors would be terrified. Until now, he carries them and uses them in various acts. They also seem to have become like his children now that he knows all their history.
Kutoka nilipomshika less than 5 years. But ni nyoka ambaye
This snake has been with me for 5 years and has had many problems. I went to the forest and met a man who was a hunter. He told me how his dogs went to the river and how one of them went missing, that this snake swallowed it. I immediately took a motorbike, ran to the river, and started looking for it for about an hour and a half. I came to find it. It was tired and had no strength. So I brought it with me and did everything I had to do for it until it recovered. So it started to eat well without any problems, began to drink fresh water, and so I began to train and teach it. So far you see that it is very peaceful, and I'm at peace living with it here at home. And you also know that no snake walks straight like that, unless it has been adequately trained. This one can't do anything harmful to people. It is now about 4 meters tall and can grow up to 8 meters.
Binti Rachitu.
My name is Bintui Rasito. Arafat is a neighbor I consider my cousin. He started breeding animals a long time ago. However, I have never touched any of these snakes apart from just looking at them. I don't see the problems that the Arafat family faces because of the breeding of snakes and crocodiles to this day because they live well with their animals.
changamoto kwanza ni lishe.
The first major problem I face is feeding them. When you take a snake or a crocodile out to the forest, you face the problem of providing for them to survive because they get used to a regular diet, which requires much effort. and to keep looking at unfamiliar things around them is not easy. In other words, for a snake or crocodile to get used to a different life that is not in the wild is not something that just happens like that. They're given clean water and we prevent them from eating foods that would hurt them. However, snakes are like humans. When they get used to what they eat, you can't change it. When you try to change even a little, they don't eat. And you have to prevent them from starving, because if they're not eating, they'll die. So breeding these animals requires a lot of attention and a high level of control, to the extent that you would rather starve than have your snake die. When this man talks to you, you would think that he has a master's degree in the breeding of wild animals and venomous animals. He explains it with many skill. Here he tells us what to watch out for when feeding your snake.
kwa sababu si kila wakati anakula.
A snake has fixed hours to eat. If it doesn't get food in those hours, it immediately loses weight, becomes weak, and hurts. So when it happens for the second time, it doesn't live and immediately dies. Arafat is a professional breeder. His home is full of many animals and is worth visiting. Visitors are amazed by his ability to live with all these animals as friends. Herein is Arafat Park.
Kimakosa. Vile vile pia mambo na nyoka, kuna biashara nyingi nzuri.
There is a good business in snakes. One of those businesses is called milking, draining venom from snakes. Depending on the type of snake, 1 gram of snake venom is very expensive. It involves draining the snake venom, drying it, freezing it, and selling it. Another thing that people should be aware of is that many medicines are made from snake venom. A good example is medicine they give to a person whom a snake was bitten. It is also made from snake venom. I found that almost all of the 7,000 snakes found in West Africa are non-venomous. I also learned that many snakes are killed for nothing. Thanks for watching. This is Afrimax English. Please remember to subscribe.